The story of Katutura follows only a handful of characters, extremely intense characters. It deals with their struggles, their hopes and their dreams. So I spoke with two of the main actors and with the very experienced and very talented filmmaker. Florian Schott is one of the big guys behind this production.
The original story is not from me. It's from Obed Mvula, who wrote the script, and he's been the one that's been developing this since 2008. So he's been on it for a while and wrote a lot of proposals and was a lot in Katutura, checked a lot about the people there and thought of possible storylines. And he brought me on board beginning of last year. And there we we started working on this, and we started really making sure that we have a story that has all the stuff that's really Namibian and that has really to do with Katutura in it, but at the same time that's also accessible for international audiences. When I'm watching now Katutura, I'm always feeling like there's a lot of little references subconsciously to Magnolia from Paul Thomas Anderson, because that's one of the films I can watch every couple of months. There's also Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I adore and love, and obviously there's great filmmakers like David Fincher, Christopher Nolan, which I'm whenever they release a film, I'm going to be first in line to see it.
Adele Miller plays the character of Esme van Wyk.
Esme van Wyk in the movie Katutura is the love interest, or the ex-girlfriend rather, of Dangi, one of the main leads. She's also the mother of his child. She's a complicated character. Not everyone likes her because of the mistakes that she's done. However, she is very compassionate. She can be selfish. She is unfortunately a drug addict in the movie, but she's also a phenomenal singer. Or so I've heard. And yeah, she's just a wonderful, complicated character to have played, and I really enjoyed it. Esme's story, it picks up from where she's in a situation where she's constantly on drugs. She's not the greatest person, she's also a bad mother, so she turns to drugs for her comfort. And as the movie unfolds, you see her changing her lifestyle, changing her mind to become a better person. So it was quite a mammoth task. When I met the cast members for the first time, they're like, "Oh, so you're playing Esme?" I was so scared. What is that supposed to mean? It was an emotional roller coaster for me. All her scenes were very difficult to shoot. There's a lot of confession scenes. She cries a lot in the movie. Oh my word. I became very close friends with the tear stick on set. I ended up keeping with me on set instead of giving it back to the makeup artist, because I'm continuously using it. There's a confession scene where Esme comes clean about a mistake that she did years back, and she's only asking for forgiveness for it now. And that scene in particular was quite difficult for me to shoot. Katutura is my third official film, so there's not a lot. The other two films that I was in was a small cameo role in Gata Culture, which was written and directed by René de Bruin, and also the award-winning movie Coming Home, which was directed by Miranda Stein. I'd love to play Mr. Orange in Reservoir Dogs.
Why?
His character is, I think it's something similar to Esme. He first comes across as the bad guy, but at the end you realize that he's actually the cop and is trying to stop the bad guys from doing what they're doing. But I really enjoyed Tim Roth's performance as Mr. Orange in Reservoir Dogs, and I think that would be an awesome challenge to accept.
Jobs plays the very troubling, just out of jail Dangi.
Dangi's a character that has a lot of issues on his hands. He's just come out of jail. He has a new wife, and he has a brother that's passed away and a mother that doesn't like him. He's very challenged because he's around his friends who are also his enemies, and he's been away for so long that he's trying to do right. I moved back to the hood, and people are really struggling there. The place that I stayed in is there's no running water in the house. There's no hot water. The neighbors are very nice, but you've got to keep an eye on who's watching you, who's watching your property. What I found as people that are struggling, the Zula, it's easy to fabricate, to create your world. So if you see your world as a successful criminal, then you'll believe that you're a successful criminal. My real chance to connect with Dangi was through his relationship with his son and what he could be going through. It can tear you up. So to invoke those emotions and share those emotions between your mom, your old friends, your brother, your new wife, it's to be able to share, to split those emotions was quite challenging.